Welcome back, everyone. It's Charlie. I had a chance to see Predator Badlands at the premiere, so this will be my review of the movie. If you do get a chance to see it early this week, please don't post spoilers in the comments. I'll do separate videos later this week about the ending of the movie, more Easter eggs, the future of the Predator and the Aliens movies, so wait till those to be posting spoilers. If you are brand new to the channel, be sure to subscribe to get those videos. So what we'll do is we'll just stick to stuff that they revealed publicly before the movie came out, like Dan Trachtenberg talked about in interviews openly, and the stuff that they revealed already in the trailers. This movie is a minor Alien Predator franchise crossover, not a full crossover. I think it's not a spoiler to say, like I said, because they did reveal that there's no actual Xenomorph in the movie. Dan Trachtenberg was pretty clear about that before the movie came out. So do not go into this movie expecting to see Alien vs. Predator like those movies were. Disney seems like for now they're content to just keep both the Predator and the Alien Romulus franchises completely separate with just light crossovers in the background characters. The reason why this film qualifies as a minor Alien franchise crossover is all the Weyland Yutani synth characters that you see in the trailers. This movie is mostly about Dek and his clan of Yautja on his first hunt, and this movie shows us more of their culture in a deeper way that none of the Predator movies have quite got to before, so we mostly follow his perspective through the movie as opposed to previous Predator movies where you mostly see them as villains inside a human story, like you're following the human characters and the Predators themselves are villains. Even something more recently, say like Predator Killer of Killers, which Dan Trachtenberg was also associated with, you can kind of view that as the second in his Predator trilogy or his Predator line of movies so far, where we actually go to Yautja Prime and probably get more dialogue and conversing of them before than you've ever seen in a movie. Pages and pages of Yautja dialogue by comparison to other Predator movies. Predator Badlands is technically a sequel to his Prey movie with Amber Midthunder a couple of years ago, which was amazing, probably one of the best, if not the best, Predator movies so far, next to the original Predator 1987 movie. He actually said that that movie had been so successful, his Prey movie, that he could have just done a straight-up sequel to that with her character if he wanted, but he wanted to do things in the style of the previous Predator core movies, where each movie tries to follow a totally different group of Yautja during a different time period. So this movie is meant to take place much later in the timeline than we've ever been in both the Predator or Alien movies on a planet that we've never been to before.
The company is not pleased. Continued failure will result in your decommission.
If Dek, the Yautja, is the protagonist of this movie this time, then it should be no surprise that Weyland Yutani is the main villain again, in the way that they are in most Alien movies so far. Elle Fanning is the co-lead. She plays two different synth models, Thea and Tessa. Thea is the nicer one that you see helping Dek in all the trailers, who he carries around on his back, C-3PO Chewbacca style from Empire Strikes Back. Tessa is the more evil, hardcore one, doing Mother's bidding, the Weyland Yutani supercomputer, to acquire more dangerous alien specimens on the most dangerous planet in the universe, which they hope to weaponize in their special weapons division. This planet that they're on during the movie is meant to be mythological in their race. It's so hardcore, no Yautja has ever returned who's tried to hunt here. So Dek's whole mission in the movie is to become the ultimate Yautja by killing the most dangerous creature on the most dangerous planet in the universe. All because of something that happens within his own clan of Yautja, trying to prove himself. Even the Yautja have their own family drama. Thea and Tessa also have similar Weyland Yutani family problems, if you can think of them that way, being a family. So Thea and Dek are meant to have a parallel arc in the movie where they both find themselves at odds with their own respective families and needing each other to help survive. They also use Elle Fanning's Thea for a lot of the comedic relief in the movie because Dek and the other Weyland Yutani synth are so hardcore in the movie. It was fun to see this movie do things that have never been done in a Predator movie before, so I was just excited for that. Seeing the deep dive into their culture without it feeling like a huge lore dump that pulled you out of the action. Like it's not just a simple history lesson with them reciting a bunch of wiki facts. There are many, many Easter eggs for all the previous Predator movies, as well as a bunch of other non-Predator movies and Alien movies as well. Some of them are easier to spot, so keep your eyes peeled when you go see it. Some of them are going to cause a lot of fun fan speculation about other big franchises being canon to the Predator movies or the Alien movies. It was fun spotting Alien movie Easter eggs just because I literally finished doing videos for the Alien Earth episodes. You don't have to watch those to understand what's going on in the movie, and you don't have to have seen the Prey movie or Alien Romulus or the other Alien movies either, but they do all help for general world building. Even though we are following a brand new Yautja on his very first hunt, it didn't feel like a very simple Predator Origins repeat type of movie, or like Batman Begins, or even like Matt Reeves' Batman movies with a brand new Batman just starting out. But you do get a little bit more of the Yautja's culture through Deck at the beginning of the movie before they drive you into some of the more propulsive action of a solid Predator movie like you would expect. I think he included just enough new Yautja culture and lore in the movie to leave room for future Predator movie sequels to go even deeper on. It kind of felt almost like he was trying to do his own version of a Predator Raid Redemption type of movie that weaved in character moments like a crazy gauntlet that Deck and Thea run together from start to finish. It did feel like a very short movie. It's only about an hour and 47 minutes long, making it one of the shortest Predator movies ever, but technically it is a little bit longer than the Prey movie by a couple minutes. Loved all the character work between the two of them, the two mains, and the dynamics of the Yautja clan together. Hopefully future movies, if Dan Trachtenberg does continue jumping around the timeline again using different groups, gets into that more with a different clan. A Predator series would also go pretty hard if Disney seems so keen on doing an alien series like Alien Earth. And even though most of the times you're not thinking about the actor underneath the Predator, the Yautja makeup, we do have to talk about Dimitris. He's the actor who portrayed Deck, who did a fantastic job. I wasn't really familiar with any of his work before this, so this is my first time seeing him. I think he did a good job of differentiating his Yautja performance from other Yautja that we've seen in previous Predator movies. Also, fun fact, big Van Damme Easter egg, Jean-Claude Van Damme played the original Yautja from the 1987 Predator movie that fought Arnold Schwarzenegger's character Dutch. He was actually famously fired from that movie. Part of the reason why he got fired from the movie is, as you can see, the Predator during that version of the movie was vastly different from the final design of the Yautja that they went with in the theatrical cut, which I think was the right choice, so it was a bummer that he got fired. But Dan Trachtenberg, looking at you, you also have an opportunity to do something funny in the future if you do another Predator movie. Now addressing some of the weaknesses of the movie, so I didn't feel like it was ever able to quite top the Prey movie, like it never quite got to Prey levels, which I still think is the best Dan Trachtenberg era movie. If he's worked on 3 so far, I'd put Predator Badlands at number 2 and Predator Killer of Killers at number 3. You can all tell me what your rating is for all of his Predator movies so far once you actually see it. I think this new movie suffers a little from the PG-13 rating in that it never goes quite as hard as usual Predator movies the way you would expect. You don't quite feel the threat, given that it's both Yautja and Synths you're following in the movie. Normally, we're following squishy humans in these movies who will blow up like wet balloons if a Yautja looks at them too hard. You also don't quite feel as bad for Weyland Yutani's Synths being eviscerated in thousands of pieces, so it's just not quite the same thing as watching humans get ripped apart. So at least for me, the threat just was not on the same level as it was normally during the Prey movie or during the other mainline Predator movies. Looking at you, Dan Trachtenberg, if you do another Predator movie after this, please go back to R-rated movies. My assumption is they went for the PG-13 rating because Disney wanted to make more money, and typically you get potential for more money if you get families to go see your movie, and you get less of that with the rated R film. Sometimes that can backfire though, so hopefully that is not the case with this one.
Classic movie monster and forcing him through a gauntlet to truly test him.
Practically the reason why the film is PG-13 is because there's no real red human blood, and as long as it's not red, for some reason the MPAA doesn't care about what you do in your movie. You can kill whoever you want, as long as the blood is not red, you're totally fine. If you are a hardcore Predator movie purist, you also might be disappointed in the way that they portray or humanize Deck so much on his first hunt. Fans of the classic movies tend to just want a really badass Predator. And in order to do his first hunt in this movie, like show his culture, his backstory, you actually have to start with a way more vulnerable, weaker Yautja than you've ever seen before in the movies, so that might wind up being a big sticking point for some people. If you actually feel like it's a feature, not a bug, of Predator movies that you don't know too much, they don't explain too much about the Yautja culture, you might not enjoy this movie as much. There's a lot of talking between the Yautja characters in this movie, like way more dialogue. Just based on some of the response so far, I think that this movie will do well enough that they will allow Dan Trachtenberg to continue with other Predator movies at some point in the future in the next 3 to 4 years. Definitely going to be interesting to see how long Disney waits before trying to do Alien vs. Predator movies again, like legit crossovers, but for now they seem content to leave both different franchises in their own lanes, which I think is the right way to go. I don't really have a whole lot to say about the music. It was solid. The locations, the visuals were usually solid. Sometimes it did suffer from a little bit of the too much CG problem that a lot of Marvel and DC movies have, where you can definitely tell that something is not real. But overall, it did wind up being an enjoyable movie, even if it's not quite as good as the Prey movie. Everybody tell me what you thought of the movie in the comments. Please don't post spoilers till later this week after everybody has a chance to see it though. If you guys want, later this week I will do a video for the ending of the movie, the bigger Easter eggs, so just let me know. Currently, we are also in the middle of the It series, Welcome to Derry. I'm doing episode videos for that. My episode 3 video will post this weekend after they release it. It goes pretty hard. Maybe if we're lucky, we'll also hear more about Alien Romulus 2 and Alien Earth Season 2 before the end of the year. Everybody click here for my Predator Badlands Easter egg video. I'll update the link as soon as I post it, and click here for all my It Welcome to Derry episodes. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.